Bankers Life Fieldhouse is the place to be, and you're watching tonight on Fox Sports Indiana. Third sellout of the year, and there's not a seat to be found when all get in from the entry pavilion because the Golden State Warriors are in town, 22-0. And Luke Walton, the interim head coach, as Steve Kerr, after having back surgery in the offseason, he is leading this team. 35 years old. Brandon Rush is in the starting lineup. The former Pacer makes his seventh start because Harrison Barnes is out with injury. Green, Bogut, Thompson, and Curry for Golden State. For the Pacers, Frank Vogel in his sixth year, 217 and 151. He's been on some big stages in his short coaching career. Eastern Conference Finals, and the Pacers start their usual five of Miles, Paul George off a 48-point performance in Salt Lake City on Saturday night. Jan Mahimi, Monte Ellis, and George Hill. Well, get situated, get ready.
Place to be. Place to be, partner. I'm looking to see one of the keys, really keys, and this has been a challenge for the Pacers, is how well you defend, because Golden State is a good offensive rebound team. So you've got to know that. They're not a terrific three-point shooting team, but you've got to rebound their misses.
Steph Curry leads the league, 32 points per game, but it's not just Curry that has gotten this team 22-0, and there's Curry for the first time, and he missed the three.
No, that's not Curry. They've got everybody on the floor has a specialty that they can bring to the table. If they have one weak link, if you will, the weakest link may be former Pacer Brandon Rush.
And again, Rush is in the starting lineup because Harrison Barnes is missing his sixth straight game with a left ankle sprain. Draymond Green.
Draymond Green is really the guy. You talk about guys that stir it. That's the guy that stirs it for this Warrior team.
You'll see two distinctive styles from this Golden State team, and Green's three is off. This is the fifth of 7 straight on the road for Golden State as George Hill gets inside and Paul George missed it, tipped it in.
Yeah, he mishandled the ball, but I said great help because Paul helped. When you look at it, George Hill couldn't find where he was going, and Paul came and helped him out.
And the Warriors have missed their first three, a couple of make it all 3 threes as Miles draws the foul, and it's an air ball, but he'll shoot 3.
Well, that's because he's been such a factor out there. Looking at Luke Walton, he's wondering how that's a foul, but you know when Thompson is out and he's defending, when you're playing against a guy like C.J. Miles, you're going to be able to, you have to be aware that he can knock him down at any time, and I think that's what was happening in terms of Klay Thompson. He just got out there and fouled.
Quinn, on Saturday night in Salt Lake City, we saw 7 of those calls. 2 shots were made, one by the Pacers and one by the Utah Jazz. 7 times a three-point shooter was fouled on the shot.
Chris, I'm telling you, before the year ends, there'll be more than that because there's just so many more three-point shots taken and anticipation. You know, you think about it with Steph Curry. He's going to get, hey, listen, in a game, don't be surprised if he doesn't get 3 or 4 of them, because he's such a terrific shooter. You have to honor it, and sometimes you over-anticipate or get a little anxious as you anticipate.
The Pacers had 5 of those on Saturday night, and Indiana has the early lead. Paul George guarding Klay Thompson, George Hill on Steph Curry. Here's the backdoor cut, and Curry scores.
Bogut is a 7-footer that makes really good passes, and that's exactly what that was, a very good pass.
And C.J. Miles, it's always good to see him score early and make shots, and I think those free throws were huge.
Yeah, there's no doubt. Him scoring early is a huge factor for him.
Brandon Rush, and that's a long 2.
Yeah, from Draymond Green out of the post.
Draymond Green is averaging 7 assists per game. That is 7th in the league. And now here's Miles out to George Hill. And the Pacers shoot the ball well to start. They're 3 of their first 5, and they've opened up a 9-4 lead.
Chris, one of the real keys for the Pacers to shoot it well is the assist number has to be up toward 25. And if it is, you'll have some success, as Paul George is called on that foul as Klay Thompson went to the basket.
So George is called for the foul. It is not a shooting foul.
Well, you see, right here, you could see that he pointed which way he wanted to go.
They call the foul on the floor, even though the basket went in. Luke Walton was arguing the call. Quinn, how does Indiana, if at any, change their defense to play this Golden State team?
Well, if anything, you got to think about double teaming. At some point, you may have to double team Curry. I mean, when he gets the ball. But other than that, the main point for the Pacers, which I think is a point they have to do every game, Chris, they've got to keep people in front of them. Remember, that's what happened in the game in Utah and in Portland. If they keep people in front of them, it's hard to go, hard for opposition to score. If they don't, you get all kind of assist opportunities.
In the month of November, Pacers allowed just 92 points per game. In the last 2 games, losses to Utah and Portland, Indiana gave up 122.5. Nice pass into Mahinmi, who adds his first 2.
Very good read by Paul because he froze Bogut. Just had Bogut in the position. He couldn't get back to Mahinmi for the layup.
So a good start for Indiana, and cutting to the basket is Bogut.
And an assist there by Curry.
They average 115 points per game. That's number 1 in the league. Shoot 49%. And Mahinmi again.
Same thing. They got Bogut to come out. Again, another assist to a basket. Golden State leads the league in assists at just about a little over 25 a game. So you've got to be able to do the same, put some pressure on them, but pass the ball and get them in defensive foul trouble.
They are number 1 in virtually every offensive category as Paul George for 3. It's too strong. And Thompson has the Warriors rebound. Nice cut by Curry, scores and a foul. It's on George Hill.
Yeah, pass by Draymond Green. I mean, Mahinmi, or the inside work you got to get. You do a nice job here. You see Bogut go, Mahinmi goes to the rim, and that's where you have to be alert because Bogut is going to try to protect. Protecting again, he does it, and you can see when Bogut protects, Mahinmi has to make himself available so he can go to the basket.
Last 6 games, Mahinmi averaging 10 points, 9 rebounds, and shooting 60% from the field. Curry is shooting 91%, but he's missed free throws, 5 of them the last couple of games. Here's Monte Ellis, the former Golden State Warrior. And Bogut has the rebound.
That's pretty interesting. He's shooting 91% and he's missed about 5 of them. This is the other shooter they have on the team. The other side of the Splash Brothers, that's Klay Thompson.
And the Pacers should know what he can do well. He had games of 40 and 39 against Indiana last year.
You get so concerned by Curry, you forget how good a player Klay Thompson is. He plays both sides, and he can really shoot it.
These are 2 former teammates, and Paul George is fouled.
I mean, when you think about, Steve Kerr's not there, but Luke Walton, what they want to do is they want to be in space. They want to do the same thing the Pacers want to do. They got shooters, and you can see right there, there's an indecision, trying to be some conversation, getting back too late as even Jan Mahinmi's running out there. Pacers' communication wasn't solid enough to make sure that they got to the shooter, Klay Thompson, in that corner.
And Paul George at the free throw line, 84% on the year. What a run it's been for PG as he misses that free throw. On the 4-game road trip, he averaged 32 points per game. 5 of his last 6, he's had 30 or more points. He's 3rd in the league in scoring at 27.5 points per game. He was 8 of 11 from 3-point range, 10 of 13 at the line on Saturday night with his 48-point game. Curry's field goals are 2s. He averages 5 made 3-point shots per game. He will obliterate the NBA record if he continues on that pace, and that's too strong. Long rebound out to George.
And he had a wide open look. Pacers have to be prepared. Somebody's got to step out on Klay Thompson. You can't have him shoot jump shots wide open. He's too good a player.
They've already taken 5. Here's Paul George, gets in the lane and shot it over the rim. Thompson back the other way, and he'll pull up and shoot the 3, and Golden State has the lead.
But that's also the confidence they have. They've been given that light and that confidence to take that shot.
So the first lead for the Warriors after the Pacers had a big lead to start. Paul George for 3.
But you notice how high he shot it. And the reason he shot it so high, the last couple shots he had were flat. And one he shot hit the front of the rim, the other hit the back of the rim.
These are the 2 best 3-point shooting teams in the NBA. Curry, quick trigger. Pacers run. Here's Ellis. Paul George at the rim.
Yeah, I mean, he was out ahead. Draymond Green didn't get back. And Paul George was out ahead, and good heads-up play by Monte Ellis.
Already 8 first-quarter points for Paul George. We played 5 minutes in Indianapolis, and the Pacers lead by 4.
To the importance of Draymond Green, you notice the Pacers have had Paul George on. That tells you how important they think he is to their game.
Another turnover. Here comes Monte Ellis, 3-on-1.
Yeah. That's the right find. If you're in a fast break situation, you've got a big man running. He's the one you got to get. Paul George falls asleep. He had Draymond Green, and somehow he and his teammates did not communicate at all. Easy basket for Draymond Green.
So it's a 4-point lead for Indiana. Breakneck speed at Bankers Light Fieldhouse. Both teams well on their way to maybe a 40-point first quarter as the Pacers lead by 4 on Fox Sports Indiana. We've not even played half of the first quarter. Still 27 seconds to go with Quinn Buckner. I'm Chris Denari tonight on Fox Sports Indiana. Time for our AT&T U-verse rewind. Who does Steph Curry remind Quinn Buckner of?
You know, a lot of kids, when they watch their father shoot, that's what happens. And this is Dale Curry. Dale Curry was a terrific shooter, got it off quickly. He's bigger, but he didn't have the ball handling skills. Remember Steve Nash, outstanding ball handling skill. All of you have seen his ability to get where he was going. Isaiah Thomas was another guy I thought could get the shots that he needed to get. You need that kind of combination at this size. That's why it's so unique. It is unique to what he brings to the game. And Steph Curry, he's only about 6 feet, maybe 6'1", but I'm telling you, he can get shots, and he's a big-time shot maker.
Out of the timeout, no change for the Pacers, but a change for Golden State. Andre Iguodala is in for the first time, as C.J. Miles is short. And here comes Curry and the Warriors. They have led once. Indiana's led the majority of the quarter. They've led by as many as 7.
Boy, he just walked. I know, the whole bench just hollered he walked.
Good hands by Paul George, and that's off the feet of the Warriors. No, let's see, it stays with Golden State.
Well, I don't see the Pacers arguing, but Steph Curry was throwing the ball behind his back. And but the Pacers get it back. There's only 8 on the shot clock. I'm sorry, the Warriors get it back. You've got to watch. They'll try to sometimes create lobs in this situation. Oh, that's not a lob, but that one got fouled. That's the one you were talking about, wasn't it? 3-point shot. And a foul on the 3-point shot? Are they saying he didn't let him come down?
And so that's the second.
Yeah, that's the second. I told you, you're going to see a lot going to the corner. Looked tough to see from that angle, but they must have felt that Jan got too close on a very good foul shooter, on a very good shooter.
Klay Thompson, 85% free throw shooter, averaging 17 points per game. Tonight's rally's food for thought. Pacers defense has been good. They want to try to force the Warriors into turnovers, and they'll turn it over, averaging 16 per game.
Yeah, that's one of the things you want to try to do is disrupt them and hopefully get it to turnovers, get them to turnovers. The thing that really disrupted them, as I looked at both the Toronto and Brooklyn game, the last 2 games they played, they got to be live turnovers, though. They struggle when they get live turnovers, and after a while, they don't get back. I mean, Brooklyn had them scored 12 straight at the end of the second quarter to get it close. You looked at a game against Toronto. Toronto had them in good shape and couldn't quite close it out, but the turnovers were the problem.
Here's George Hill, jump shot left it short. Draymond Green has the rebound.
But you got to run when Draymond gets it because he's allowed to bring it up and make plays.
Pacers go to the bench. Jordan Hill is in for the first time. Down to the post, Iguodala against Monte Ellis, and Pacers nearly had it, but here's Green in the lane.
Well, you got to get a body on Bogut. He's tipped it twice. There was 21 seconds on the shot clock, and he shoots a long 3 because they get a rebound. Remember I said defensive rebounding is the key? That's why. Because if they get second shots, it's usually 2 or 3.
When Klay Thompson's already hit 3 threes. Here's Jordan Hill for the first time against Bogut down in the post. And he draws the foul, could not get it to go. Jordan Hill's numbers good the last 7, 11.7 rebounds, shooting 56% from the field.
Well, you got to do a good job. You see, Jordan Hill didn't even see the ball. He was trying to block out and just tapping it long. Now, everybody was recovering. That's why this is one of the best shots to take. C.J. Miles doesn't see the ball coming. It is too late. That 3 is in the rim.
Hill misses the free throw. It's surprising that both of these teams struggling at the free throw line this year. Pacers at 75%, that's 19th. Golden State at 74.8, that's 21st.
That left his hand back. He never had the rotation he wanted on it.
8-0 run for the Warriors. Rodney Stuckey is in for the first time. He now has switched off on Draymond Green, and here's Curry in the lane.
I mean, he just throws a lob over his head. I mean, that's part of the ball handling ability. Ball handling isn't all dribbling. Some of it is passing, and he passes, handles it. That's the kind of stuff Steve Nash used to do. Blind pass, and Bogut really doesn't have to be an offensive player. He can just catch the ball and put it in.
10-0 run. Curry did not play here in Indianapolis against the Pacers last year. That's kept alive by Hill. Knocked out of bounds by Curry. Pacers ball.
I mean, Curry's just watch. Now he'll catch this ball. Now watch what happens. He'll get it and just turn the corner, and he'll just loft it, just right-handed. He lofts it at the rim because he knows there's no way for the defender to get back. He puts a lot of pressure on you, and we have to wait a little bit. We had some people to lose a little bit of the substance on the side.
Steph Curry, Monte Ellis were teammates for a few years at Golden State. Ellis drafted in the second round in 2005. Curry was the 7th pick in 2009, and then Ellis was traded to to Milwaukee for Andrew Bogut.
That's what I'm saying. That was a big deal. That's a big deal for both of these guys, because what was determined is that it was better if they didn't try to play together. So I know Monte Ellis wants to make sure just the play that he does a really good job here.
He goes into the paint and kicked the basketball.
Well, he got it pulled out of his hands by Steph Curry.
And they turn it over, and the Pacers get it back. That was Indiana's first turnover. And that's the third now for the Warriors. Luke Walton, 35 years old, in his second year at Golden State, was an assistant a year ago and still an assistant. He's the interim coach as Steve Kerr recovers from back surgery in the offseason. They won the title last year with 67 regular season games, and that's a Pacers turnover.
Well, Steph Curry knocked the ball off. I mean, that shows some defense. He knocked the ball off of Rodney Stuckey's leg. I mean, we talked about his offense, his defense on the last two possessions. The one on Monte Ellis, they didn't call a foul. I thought it was a foul, but anyway, he got that, and then he got his hands on that ball.
Thompson again. Klay Thompson has scored 14 first quarter points, and it's a 12-0 Warriors run. Miles is off. 9-7. Golden State is out. Rebounded the Pacers. Indiana. Here's the lob and Bogut. And so a 10-point lead, make it an 8-point lead for the Golden State Warriors. And they've scored the last 14 points. Well, you think of small ball with Golden State, but they start Andrew Bogut in the middle. And here's the alley-oop again from Curry to Bogut. And the Warriors lead the Pacers by 8. Golden State lead.
Yeah, well, Klay Thompson has been knocking down shots, so he puts a lot of pressure on you. This is him right there. So you're worried about what you've got to do. Watch what happens. He sets the screen. You see, nobody wants to come off. The ball is lofted, and that's how Bogut is able to get it to the rim, because Klay Thompson has been making shots. You're not going to leave him, but communication has to be better.
Now Paul George at the free throw line. It's short. Here comes Curry. A year ago, Golden State scored 38 points in the first quarter here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. Curry for 3.
I mean, that's the wizardry of this guy. That's why you've got to stay on him, and everybody's got to get back and match up. And it is very, very hard. I don't care what team you play against or who you're playing with, to match up in transition when you got guys that are skilled handling the ball.
It is a 17-0 run. That's saved out to Stuckey. Shot clock down to 6. Air ball, Green. It's an 11-point Warriors lead.
Let's give it back to him. I knew that was coming. He was going to give it back to him because everybody is following. At that time, they followed Steph Curry to the rim, so you'll get open shots.
That's off the rim by Stuckey. Indiana's missed 7 straight shots. They started 8 of 13. And they now trail by 11. Here's Curry.
He's not just a jump shooter. He is a basketball player.
19 straight Golden State points after the Pacers had a 6-point lead. Blocked by Thompson.
Yeah, as he's going up, Thompson got his hands on it. What you're not going to be able to do against Golden State is one person is not going to beat him.
Hill couldn't get it.
Yeah, one person is not going to beat him. You got to move the ball.
And
that's how they make their run. And Frank wants him to come back, but that's how they make their run. Curry was thinking that was an out of bounds, but the ball has to be moved. You've got to assist it.
22 straight points by the Golden State Warriors. And the Pacers struggling to score as George hits his second 3.
Well, Frank wanted them to play out of it. He wasn't going to call a timeout out of it. Klay Thompson on the fast break gets it on the right side at the 3-point line, and nobody gets to him in time.
A 40-point quarter for the Golden State Warriors.
With a minute 22 to go. That's how quickly they score.
This is the 14th time they've had 30 or more points in the opening quarter, but they have 40. And it's Pacers ball, and they trail by 16.
Got to be sharp with the ball, and you've got to share it. That's the key of playing against this team.
Klay Thompson last year averaged 39.5 against Indiana. Curry played just one game. And right now, it's a big Warriors lead. They lead by 16 late first quarter.
40-24 lead at Bankers Live Field, out showing their ability to knock down long-range shots, but the Pacers can do that as well. Our Metro PCS unlimited performance. These are the top two teams in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage differential. Yes, the Pacers are second in the NBA in three-point field goal percentage, but back to the Warriors. Luke Walton said this morning, teams have tried some crazy things to try to slow this team down. It even goes to the practice court. Frank Vogel yesterday said he almost had the maintenance crew come out on the court and put down a 30-foot three-point line, saying that that's the range you have to be prepared to stand at the line and let Steph or shoot 5 feet behind it. Range is important.
All right, thanks, JJ. Here's Solomon Hill in for the first time, and his jumper is no good. Hill got the rebound, and Jordan Hill has his first points.
JJ, just so you know, I love your report. 30 feet doesn't matter to these guys. Because if Steph or Klay Thompson is shooting, particularly Steph, they're going to find a way. Oh, my goodness.
Andre Iguodala was the MVP of the NBA Finals a year ago. He comes off the bench for Golden State.
That's why you got to make sure you keep people in front of him.
And Jordan Hill has his second basket. Well, the one thing Frank Vogel also told his team, look, you can't panic. They're going to go on runs. And that's tipped out to Solomon Hill. Pacers using Solomon Hill off the bench because of the small ball approach of Golden State. That's a bad pass by Ellis.
Sure was. He got in the air, indecisive. Last shot will be the Golden State Warriors.
Sean Livingston is in for the first time, 11th year. Came out of high school, Peoria, Illinois. 4th pick by the Clippers back in 04.
This is Hack Azili. What the Pacers just did is Festus Ezeli, they just hacked him. So he's got to make foul shots. I watched him play against Toronto, and he was, 4 of 8. Now, here's Iguodala coming strong, and the Pacers have nobody in the paint. You got to protect the paint if you're going to get some good out of it.
Now let's see if they foul Ezeli again.
Well, yeah, but they're getting ready to have Solomon foul him, I bet. Yeah, it's the only thing that makes sense. They just switched Solomon on him, and he's trying to foul him. He fouled him again. Yeah, they didn't want Jordan Hill to pick up the next foul, so they put Solomon Hill, who really doesn't play a lot. Playing, as you know, we've seen him very rarely this season, maybe in only about 3 games. So they had him foul Ezeli. Right now, we got Sean Livingston is standing up there, and he's up there as though he's the one that's supposed to be getting the fouls. The officials do a good job of making sure the right person gets to the foul line.
And Ezeli, 3rd year out of Vanderbilt, native of Nigeria, 54% from the free throw line. And Ezeli hits the first of 2. 8 points, 7 rebounds off the bench. He had 12 points on Sunday night as Golden State extended its record to 22-0 with a 114-98 win at Brooklyn.
Frank is hoping that they get Pacers get 1 point out of the possession, but you don't get it because Ezeli makes both foul shots.
A 16-point advantage for Golden State. That matches their biggest lead. Shot clock at 3, at 2, and Curry is called for the foul.
I don't know how he could see that's not a foul. I mean, he put both arms on Ellis's shoulder. And the way the league is rightfully, I think, officiating the game out front, you can't put hands on people. Only 2.7 seconds, so it's got to be a quick one, no dribble.
Paul George remains out there. He goes to the top, and that's where Draymond Green is.
They protected. They were going to lob it, and they protected it.
Here's Ellis for 3. It is off the rim, no good, and we played a quarter in Indianapolis. The Pacers led early. They had a 6-point lead at 21-15. But the Pacers give up a season-high 44 in a quarter, trail by 16 after 1. The Golden State Warriors are 22-0, but most impressively, they are 12-0 on the road. Teams to win their first 10 road games, the previous 3 all won an NBA title. The Celtics in 60-61 and 61-62. The Knicks in 69-70. The Knicks won their first 12. The Warriors have won their first 12. If they win tonight, they'll win their first 13 on the road, and that will be another NBA record.
Well, they're doing some special things. There's no doubt about it because they have terrific shooting.
Jordan Hill down in the post with 7 to shoot against Ezeli. And a wild shot rebounded by Livingston.
There was a lot of Ezeli to shoot over. Long arm, doesn't shoot free throws that well. Long arm and does defend.
We'll check the bench players now out there for Golden State as Sean Livingston fouled by Hill.
That's Livingston. That's Livingston's shot. Livingston is a guy that bounced around, had the terrible knee injury that he fought away to get back into the league. And then they put him in the post, and particularly with their second unit, they count on him to both run their offense and to score.
And Livingston at the line hits the first free throw. He's a 94% free throw shooter. Fox Sports Indiana has eliminated online fees for tickets bought this month for any home game. The zero fees until 2016 promotion gives fans the opportunity to buy tickets with zero fees for any remaining home game, including Fan Appreciation Night against New York on April 12th and other big games. Buy before 2016 at Pacers.com/zero fees. Well, the Warriors have done what they wanted to do, and that's taken the air out of this building.
That's what you want to do when you're on the road. They've been on. They listen. They haven't lost a game at all, and they're very experienced, having won a championship and having had success this year. They understand to try to get at teams early and take some of that momentum that usually comes from a fired-up crowd away.
Brandon Rush stays on the floor now. He came back in. He got the start. Ian Clark is out there.
Yeah, they're not as good offensively with this second unit. You can see how much the ball is being pounded. And he is a big guard. He's every bit of 6'7", and he plays long. George Hill will have a tough time guarding Livingston when he plays with his back to the basket.
And it's a 20-point lead for Golden State at 48-28. Stuckey in trouble right through the hands of Allen. And Iguodala behind his back and got it.
He was able to get away from George Hill and still get it up, but he's the one, you already talked about it, didn't start last year and was the MVP of the finals. I mean, Iguodala brings a lot to him.
Here's Solomon Hill, spins to the basket, and Hill missed it. Allen, a good offensive rebounder. Solomon Hill playing in just his 8th game. He started 78 times last year, and that's a foul on Ian Clark.
You know, Iguodala in his own right is a really good player. He's able to get it. He's got length. We've seen him dunk it. Now watch his ball handling ability. As George Hill tried to gamble, couldn't quite get there. Iguodala with the finish, nobody gets there to help.
Well, of course, they're unbeaten, 22-0, 16-0 in November, one of 6 perfect months in NBA history for Golden State as Stuckey misfires and Ezeli the rebound. It's a 22-point Golden State lead and on a huge run here against the Pacers. They had no answers and a steal as Stuckey has it.
Good defense there by Solomon Hill, because he was able to move Brandon Rush off of his area of travel, the angle that he was traveling to the rim, and that's why Rush lost it and the Pacers got a turnover there.
The game changed on a 22-0 run as Steph Curry and company took a 21-15 deficit to a 37-21 lead, and they have not looked back. Pacers have George Hill, Stuckey, Solomon Hill, Chase Budinger.
You've got to force it inside. Now people have to cut.
And here's LaVoy Allen.
Nice job getting into Ezeli. But you got to move. Again, getting back to the other end. You got to get back in transition. And George trying to do the same thing.
Budinger, the offensive rebound. Iguodala has it now for Golden State.
Yeah,
they have 5 on 4.
He also got it, and George Hill got knocked down and wasn't able to get up.
That's knocked out.
That's got to be Pacers ball.
9:16 to play, and a 22-point Golden State lead. 5th of 7 straight on the road. A 14-day road trip for this Warriors team. They head to Boston on Friday, and then back-to-back Saturday night at Milwaukee, and then play 5 straight at home, including a Christmas Day game against the Cleveland Cavaliers in a rematch of the NBA Finals from a year ago. when this is the end of the floor that people forget how good they are defensively is George Hill, the three. He's fouled by Clark and a chance for a 4-point play.
They're able to stay in front of you. They've got active hands. I mean, you're right. It's one of the reasons why they have like a plus 15 differential is that they do a solid job on the defensive end. They keep you in front of them as a rule. George Hill does a good job using the screen of Lavoy Allen there. Clark comes late, and you can see the hip check as Hill released the ball to make what's potentially a 4-point play.
6 points now for George Hill. He averages 13 per game. And 3 minutes deep into the second quarter, an 18-point Golden State lead. Warriors shooting 63%. Indiana just 37%. Iguodala over the top of Buttinger. And what's amazing through a 22-0 start, Quinn, just 3 times this year Golden State has shot less than 45% from the field.
They're terrific shooters, first of all, and they can get open shots. And as the game is gone to that pace and space, it's exactly what they need.
Saved by Solomon Hill.
And you get so concerned when you're playing against this team, when Steph Curry's on the floor, Draymond Green's ability to really distribute the ball, and Klay Thompson, that it makes it difficult for you.
So back-to-back threes for George Hill. That's a 54-37 count in Golden State's favor. Leandro Barbosa is out tonight. He is ill, the former Pacer.
And that's some of their offensive firepower that they normally have off the bench. Festus gave him a little bucket, and that's all gravy for Golden State.
A lot of times we talk about points per possession. Their points per possession, they're almost 2 per possession.
Well, they're pretty efficient. That's why possessions is a number, but efficiency is a bigger issue, in my opinion. Defensive three?
It is a defensive 3-second violation. It's on Golden State, and so the Pacers will shoot a technical foul when we come back. George Hill has hit a couple of threes here in the second quarter, trying to help bring the Pacers back. But the Warriors lead by 19 in Indianapolis. 56-37, but still a long way to go in this game. 7:39 to play in the second quarter. For every 3-point shot that George Hill hits this season, Indiana Members Credit Union donates 3 backpacks to Backpack Attack. It's an organization that helps students with inadequate supplies keep up with their. For more information, visit IndyBackpackAttack.org. The Golden State Warriors lead the NBA in fast break points. We're looking at them in transition. 21 points per game. They already, Quinn, have 11 here in the first half.
Yeah, and what makes it, that's the reason that it gets up there quickly, because they run into a 3-point shot. And everybody doesn't have the ability to do it. Klay Thompson runs into him. You know that Steph will run into him every now and then. Draymond Green. And because those are the uncontested shots that they'll get. So they will have a higher than average, if you will, point total in transition.
Tonight's Coors Light Cold Hard Facts. Most field goals made early in the shot clock. You see Golden State averaging 8 points per game. And we've seen all night long, whether it be Curry or Thompson, even Brandon Rush in a starting role, they have the option to let it fly at any point.
They give them great confidence, and that's why early in the clock you can see the most field goals they have per game, because that's what they're told. If you feel like you're open, take your shot.
And here's a layup by Lavoy Allen. So the Pacers get the technical free throw from Stuckey for the defensive 3-second violation, and then Lavoy Allen scores, and it's a 56-40 game. Klay Thompson has come back in. He had 17 first-half points. And that's Ezeli.
Yeah, because Allen came over to help, and nobody put a body on Ezeli, but you saw they ran that little weave, that little globetrotter deal. They'll do that to try to get you to either switch or just lose your man momentarily, and that's what the Pacers did. Good read.
George Hill's hit a couple of threes, out there with 9 to shoot, guarded by Clark. Inside now to Allen, and left that short. Golden State's 44 first quarter points matched a season high. And again, the 44 given up by Indiana, that's the most in any quarter this year.
Fell asleep. Yeah, they fell asleep. It was a hard cut that time by Thompson, and a good pass there by Livingston, but the Pacers just fell asleep defensively.
This is a team that has scored 75 points in the opening half, and that's a great pass to Buttinger.
It's got to be ball movement. At the quarter, it was 12 assists to 16 baskets for Golden State. So you've got to be aware ball movement is the critical thing.
look at them continue to shoot at 6 now for Sean Livingston. I would say this, and Golden State is a very good defensive team, but they know they have a better offense than any team in the NBA, and they'll be content to trade with it.
Well, yeah, I'm sure they'll be content to trade in some aspects, but you alluded to their defense. They take a lot of pride in their defense.
Shot clock down to 6. Here's George Hill. Got it on the ground. And Stuckey fouled, and he'll shoot free throws. So Festus Ezeli is a big presence off the bench. He's got 8 first-half points. The follow dunk. And the Warriors' lead continues to be 20 at 62-42. For just $15, visit the Pacers home court gift shop or PacersGear.com for more information. Golden State has a 20-point lead on the Farm Bureau Insurance sideline. Here's Jeremiah Johnson. JJ?
Chris, a similar theme the last 2 timeouts. Frank Vogel saying we were at our best when we weren't calling plays. We were advancing and attacking. He said trust your passes. He says he doesn't want to call plays. Something else to watch. He wants to see the ball get into the paint within the first 5 seconds of the shot clock. He doesn't want to slow this game against Golden State. He wants to push the tempo like they were in the first 5 or 6 minutes.
Well, if you've got a smaller team like that Frank Vogel does, it is better if you push the tempo. But I think the point that he's really making, we've talked about passing, 2 feet in the paint, chip the paint, get your feet in the paint, whatever you want to call it, is one of the few times that you'll take advantage of Golden State because they'll collapse and help, and maybe you can get shooters open on the perimeters, and then shooters must then knock down shots.
But again, the Pacers have dug themselves a hole. Stuckey averaging 17 points on the West Coast road trip. He had 4 straight double-figure games. And now 26 of his last 27 from the free throw line. He's averaging 11 points per game. And he's got 3. Curry is back out there for Golden State.
And Draymond Green. I mean, that's how important he is for Curry. Because Draymond Green can read all of the activities. Same play they ran before, and they had Sean Livingston set the screen for Ezeli.
Down in the post. Turns on the baseline. Jump hook. Rebounded by the Pacers. C.J. Miles is back out there with Paul George, Mahimi, Rodney Stuckey, and Monte Ellis. Ellis is yet to score. George had 11 first-quarter points. And Stuckey to the rim.
But it was really good. The Pacers ran right into the offense, so you wouldn't have Golden State being able to set up.
Twice this year, Golden State has scored 75 points in the first half.
Good deflection there. Draymond Green was trying to throw it to Curry.
Ellis out to Mahimi. And now Paul George tees up a long 3.
The Pacers got to make their run. And Luke Walton is stopping that.
So Paul George, who made 8 of 11 Saturday night in Salt Lake City, he's the 8th best three-point shooter in the NBA at 45%. They start to climb back in. Rodney Stuckey giving this team a boost off the bench. He has 5, and the Pacers now have moved within 13 on the George 3. It's 62-49 Golden State. For your money. And by Comcast Xfinity. X1 from Xfinity will change the way you experience sports. Downtown Indianapolis on a Tuesday night. Pacers trying to make some headway against this Golden State team. They now trail by 13. Paul George had 48 points on Saturday night. He made 8 three-point shots, and the 48 points, the 4th most points in all-time NBA history. Reggie Miller with 57, Jermaine O'Neal with 55, Billy Knight had 52, and PG had 48. If you go to the ABA, George McGinnis back in the early 70s had 58.
Yeah, Big Mac used to get some numbers as well.
Hogan is back in.
Well, unfortunately, that ball got thrown off the foot of the Pacers because that, off of Golden, well, actually off the Pacers, because if they don't, that's a layup that's about to get had there by Curry.
Ellis is out there, shot clock at 4, and Mahimi grabs the rebound. So the Pacers on a run here, 7 straight points. Miles for 3.
That looked good. And that was right in front of us. Watch and see if they go right down to Draymond with Miles.
It's a pass and a foul, and it's on C.J. Miles. Paul George was going the other way.
Yeah, he sure was headed out. And the post, we talked about it earlier. I mean, Draymond Green in the post C.J. Miles just tried to get his hands on it, and he fouled because you don't see any negative reaction from him to the official. He fouled on that play.
Thompson has 17. Curry has 13. Using the screen, Curry does not go in. Miles just missed the three. A three would make it a 10-point game. Pacers have trailed by as many as 22. Stuckey.
Oh, boy, that's tough. I mean, Frank is looking to try to get a foul call there. They didn't get one.
Long rebound out to Paul George. He had to come from the other end of the court.
Well, it was a slow motion rebound because neither Thompson nor it looked like look at Paul George was going to have a chance to get to it.
Paul George took it right at Klay Thompson, and Thompson called for the foul. That's his second. So PG at the line, he has 14. He had 20 first-half points on Saturday night, a career-high 48. He's the third leading scorer in the NBA. Tonight's Fan Forum Credit Union question of the game. How many games do you guys think the Warriors will win this season? They are 22-0. Is an NBA record in their future. Can they
Don't
win?
look at me and say, oh, no. You guys, nice try. Nice try, partner. How about you, guy?
I think it's possible when you think about what this group has done on a nightly basis. I mean, you've never seen anything like it.
You really haven't. I mean, that's a classic. I mean, you can't get out close enough to guard Thompson on that play. But if you get too close, they get to the rim.
Quinn, he's made 5 threes already. Again, Thompson had games of 40 and 39 against the Pacers last year.
Boy, because Curry is really doing a lot of reaching there. I mean, he has some good hands, but he didn't get that. And I hear some fans saying that's a foul. The interesting thing about being the MVP, there are some considerations that go with that.
First team All-NBA for the first time, MVP last year. Steph Curry now in his 7th year. George against Draymond Green, too strong. And Curry has the Golden State rebound. Iguodala stays out there. Curry's open behind the arc.
Well, done a good job getting back. Just lost Curry in the transition.
Golden State is 8 of 18 from three-point range.
I suspect we're going to see close to 60 three-point shots taken tonight. I really do. Because, you know, they take 30 themselves.
Miles hits the three, 44% from behind the arc. That's his first of the night, his 51st of the year.
Well, believe me, when he starts getting to go, there'll be more of that.
Now Green took it right at Paul George. Draymond Green with just a second field goal, but he has 3 assists and 3 rebounds. And the Warriors have hit 70.
Oh, well, he hit Draymond Green in the air.
That's a charging foul on Paul George.
Yeah, he was out of control. Unfortunately, he was out of control because that's going to be an easy basket for the Warriors going the other way. I mean, you see right here, a nice job getting back in transition. So you shut it off, but then coming, you lose Steph Curry. That's what you can't afford to do. All he did was make the pass. Nobody stayed with him. He ran to the open spot. We know how great a shooter he is. You've got to stay with him.
When this is the 670-point half of the year for Golden State. And you really can't gamble on Thompson, and he hits again, his 6th.
Yeah, when he got going, he's a little bit like C.J. Miles. When he gets it going early, he's hard to defend because he's a really good, I mean, he's a skilled basketball player, but he makes some real challenging shots. Pacers
had cut it to 11, and now the lead is 19.
Right there.
Stop and go for Ellis, and he draws the foul.
Getting back. Where's your man? What do you have to do? Ball gets pushed out. Paul reaches you right. You cannot gamble. If you do, their old coach, Mark Jackson, is afraid to say, you reach, I teach.
Indiana made a franchise record 19 threes at Philadelphia. Golden State made a franchise record 22 at Phoenix. They come in the 2 best three-point shooting teams in the league, but Curry and the Warriors shoot almost 44% and make nearly 14 per game. You know, the other thing that to take into consideration about Golden State, they're not physical in the traditional sense, but they're a physical team. I mean, they take hits,
They play off of them. I mean, they're a little more physical on the defensive side than I think people give credit to them for.
Now we see
We got two. Oh, I wanted to see that one. You got the two stars, and he is just on fire. Trey steps out. They'll lay a game for Golden State. Trey has his game going, and he is just drilling shots with 26.
26 first half points for Klay Thompson, 8 of 10 from the field, 7 of 9 from 3. He came in the last 4 all 20 or more. And again, I mentioned 40 and 39 in 2 games last year against the Pacers. He's on track for another big game. Here's Miles for 3.
He's got to let it go. You got to get somebody to make shots. Paul George is on the inside and on that same side with C.J. Miles.
Pacers are 7 of 14 from three-point range. Here comes George Hill.
And a good no call by the official.
Pacers on the run.
Misread on the pass. Gives it right to Thompson, wide open.
He's hit 9. Make it 8 in the first half. 8 of 10 for 29 points for Klay Thompson. And they've scored 79 first half points. It's a season high for the Golden State Warriors as Miles missed for 3. And a reach-in foul by George Hill.
Well, you see right here a mishandle, misread, and then Bogut on the ground. And then can't get to Klay. You got Jan Mahimi, who's not going to leave the rim because he had Iguodala at the basket. But Klay Thompson is putting on some exhibition of three-point shooting himself.
Klay Thompson has made 4 three-point field goals in each quarter. 29 points for Thompson. He comes in averaging 17 points per game. And all day long, the Pacers said, hey, this team is much more than Steph Curry, who's averaging 32 points per game, and the Pacers are seeing it.
No, they've got a lot of weapons. Got him. Picked the pocket. Got him clean. There's nothing that Curry can do here. Yeah, just picked him clean. Paul George showing you some of his defensive abilities. His teammates have to come up to that level as well.
Pacers have scored 60 first half points, and they're down 19. Against the league's best offense in Golden State, averaging 115 per game. They're at a season high 79.5. Curry, in and out, no good. Pacers have 5 seconds. Paul George, 2 seconds.
Just pull up.
A 3 away from PG, no good. And a 19-point Golden State lead at the half. So a very entertaining first half as Golden State tries to match Miami with 27 consecutive wins, chasing the record of LA. The Lakers won 33 straight in 1971-72. 79-60. Warriors by 19. Our St. Vincent halftime show is next on Fox Sports Indiana. Well, is brought to you by Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance. If your policy doesn't cover it, you might have to live with it. Talk to Indiana Farm Bureau Insurance and stop knocking on wood. And by Menards. Save big money at Menards on all your home improvement needs. Klay Thompson had a season high 29. Stephen Curry had 16 in the first half, 79-60 as we get ready to start the third quarter. Here's Jeremiah Johnson with Popeye Jones.
Well, Popeye, this was a 21-15 Pacers advantage and then that 22-0 run. What did you see the Warriors were able to do, and how do you come back into this game?
Well, I thought we got a little stagnant on offense, first of all, that allowed them to get out in transition. We got to do a better job of matching up in transition, taking away those transition threes, and then half court defensively, we got to stay with our guy. You got to stay in front of Steph. You got to stay in front of Klay. Obviously, Klay got hot on us in the first half, but we got to keep a body on that guy and stay with him and contest him here in the second half.
Frank said he wants to continue to run. He wants to push the tempo.
Yeah, we want to do that, and I think we got to string some stops together in order to do that. We get a stop, we get out and run, then we get another stop. That's going to allow us to get back in the game.
Thanks, Popeye.
Thank you.
Popeye Jones, Pacers assistant for the last 3 years. Klay Thompson, the 29 is a season high. Curry had 16. I really thought they got a lot of good play out of Ezeli off the bench, Iguodala, and Sean Livingston. Those 3 guys combined for 20. And Paul George, he had 18 to lead the Pacers. These are the last 3 games against Indiana. He had 40 last year at Golden State with Stephen Curry. He had 39 back in February when the Pacers rallied to win the game. And tonight he has 29, a season high in the first half.
Some teams you just play better against. Two of the most outstanding shooters. You and I talked about them when we first saw them, and they were outstanding shooters there. They've come to be the best shooting duo in all of the league. And as Mark Jackson, their coach and the former Pacers, said, he thinks they may be the best shooting duo that's ever been in basketball. And I'm telling you, you'd be hard-pressed to pick another one to match it.
2 years ago, they won here 98-96 on a Klay Thompson basket. The Pacers had started the year 46-13. That was 2 years ago. And Indiana won here 1 season ago, 104-98. Monte Ellis, who had just one first-half point, gets the Pacers on the board to start the third quarter.
And that was the whole intent, to get him going offensively, because he didn't score very well in that first half, because you need Monte to score.
Curry taken by Paul George. He's going to race the other way, and an easy 2 for PG.
Well, you know, more and more, those dunks that you used to get, that is a delay of game. And Paul never thought about it. But, you know, last year they instituted the rule, you can't touch the ball. And after the made basket, he just threw it to the official. You can't throw it to the official. And that's a delay of game.
And the next one's a technical foul.
Right.
So you get one delay of game or a warning. As the Pacers, the first couple of baskets. Here's Draymond Green, lobs it up, Bogut.
Yeah, because what he does is he draws Mahinmi, and they just throw the ball over Mahimi's head to Bogut. And I was going to say, you talked about Ezeli. Bogut did a nice job. He only scored about 4 points, I think 6 points. But he put some pressure on you, because you've got to be concerned about where he is if you're Mahinmi.
And again, this Golden State team without Harrison Barnes missing his 6th straight game with an injury as Monte Ellis misfires.
Got to know where the shooters are. If Green has the ball, you got to know where the shooters are. Yeah, I was going to say, just switch that.
He made 8 3-pointers in the first half, and that's another pass, and Bogut lays it in.
But you can't reach behind him. Yeah, that's what Frank did. You can't reach behind him. CJ reached behind him, and once he did that, you turned him loose, and you're playing 5-on-4.
And Mahinmi throws it away.
I mean, again, we were talking about guys that are making contributions. Here's one, and right here, Mahinmi is there, so his man just goes to the basket.
That's in and out by Thompson. He was 8 of 10 from three-point range in the first half. Again, a season-high 29 for Klay Thompson. 5 straight 20-point games now.
Got to speed it up. Got to everything, make a decision quicker and execute it faster.
And another field goal for Paul George. He has 22.
Because you know what Golden State has done to the Pacers? They've taken them out of their offensive rhythm. And you watch, that's why Popeye was saying the ball has to move more. That's what I was saying as well.
And there's another alley-oop as Andrew Bogut has 3 third-quarter field goals. They just lull you to sleep, don't they?
That's because you're worried about that's Steph Curry. All of them know that they're worried about other guys, and Steph just throws it at the rim.
Now Miles drives inside. Mahinmi saved. Shot clock down at 5, and Hill was out of bounds.
As you can see, the offense is really out of sync.
Quinn, let's talk about the job that Frank Vogel's counterpart is doing, 35-year-old Luke Walton.
Doesn't get the records, but got Player of the Month in November.
Yeah, Coach of the Month.
Coach of the Month.
Yeah, no, and he doesn't get the wins.
Doesn't get the wins. He's done a terrific job. And, I mean, he comes by it honestly. His dad is obviously a very bright guy, and so is Luke. And Luke spent a lot of time, matter of fact, when Bill was playing with the Celtics with Larry Bird. I mean, he grew up watching Bird, but, you know, his dad is a very good, knowledgeable basketball guy. Brandon Rush got his hands on that. They didn't feel like there was any foul there. So Luke Walton has just tried to carry it forward, what he had with Steve Kerr, and they don't know when Kerr's coming back.
Paul George forces a turnover. Again, the Warriors have won their first 22. It's the longest streak to start a season in professional sports history. The St. Louis Maroons were 20-0 back in the late 1800s.
They were in the Union Association?
Yeah.
Oh. That's offense, yeah. It's a late call, but that's the right call. It's a late call. I thought the Pacers were actually going to get away with it. But Monte hit him square in the chest.
19-point Golden State lead. Again, they opened up with a 22-0 run. Halfway through the first quarter.
That's offensive, no doubt. Yeah, they missed that one.
Now
they got it that time. Good anticipation by Paul George. But Bogut got away with one earlier, and Luke had to laugh because I think he feels like that was a makeup. But you see the anticipation. Watch the move. Paul George there goes down, and even though there was a change of direction by Draymond Green, no question about the contact.
Luke Walton ended his playing career just a few years ago, played 10 years with the Lakers and the Cavaliers, a part of 2 Lakers title teams. He was his second-round draft pick in 03. Pacers turn it over. Here comes Klay Thompson, and that's a basket.
I think Frank calls a timeout because Paul George is down. I thought the official was giving him a timeout. No, Paul George is just down. Thought he got fouled.
Klay Thompson last year had 8 30-point games. This is his first of the year. Season high 31 for Thompson and a 21-point Golden State lead. Mahinmi to the basket, fouled by Bogut. So free throws now for Indiana. And it'll be Jan Mahinmi to shoot free throws. These are the longest winning streaks to start a season in professional sports. The St. Louis Maroons, 1884, won 20 straight. New England, the Patriots won 18 straight in 07. The Maple Leafs in 1993, and the Buffalo Sabres 10.
Pardon me.
22.
Everybody knows what 4 out of 5 of those teams are. Let's make sure everybody knows. Share with what the Maroons, what sport was that?
They moved to Indianapolis, I believe.
They did. But what sport was it was the question. Don't evade the question. What do you?
It was
you think
hoops.
the people? Thank you.
It was
you
basketball.
think people can see you shooting basketballs?
Well, there's Jan Mahinmi shot the best. Yeah, 1884. The Maroons won 20 straight basketball games. And again, when we start comparing streaks, football's played once a week.
Right. Yeah, no, it's a huge difference. There's no doubt about it. What the Warriors are doing is very special. Pacers getting special on defense.
And C.J. Miles gets 2. Make a run, but you've got to do it on this end of the floor because you've made a little run and you've cut it to 17. Draymond Green tried to. That's Paul George out of bounds.
Both Paul and Jan were trying to make a decision on the ball, and neither of them could come in, but at least 2 guys are fighting for the rebound.
Played 4.5 minutes of the third quarter. Warriors had a 19-point halftime lead. Pacers only able to trim 2 points off that. Curry off the screen. Chased by Hill. Shot clock. Bogut threw it away.
Well, he threw it to Brandon Rush, who tried to make a shot before he caught it because the Pacers put pressure on him. Maybe the Pacers can get a little bit more momentum going here off of their defense.
Again, Brandon Rush making his 7th start of the year in there because Harrison Barnes missing his 7th straight game with a left ankle sprain. The former North Carolina Tar Heel will be reevaluated this Sunday when Golden State goes home. Here's Hill. That's short. Barnes played all 82 games last year, averaged 10 points per game. Here's Green. Extra pass, Rush in the corner for 3.
You see how quickly the ball moves, though? I mean, that's really what the Pacers have to get to. This is a seasoned team and playing that pace and space, and I think everybody has to keep that in mind in the Pacer world, because the Pacers are just starting to play it. Golden State has had great success and it plays it with great confidence because they've won an NBA championship with it, and that's what the Pacers have to get to.
Paul George inside, well defended by Bogut. He was there to help Green.
Oh boy, that's a charge. Yeah, I'm waiting to see when they're going to make the call. Green just ran Jan Mahinmi over.
A couple of late whistles we've seen go in the favor of Luke Walton and the Warriors, as well as with Indiana. And a timeout with 6:16 to play. It was 3-point shooting, Quinn, in the first half. It's Andrew Bogut going to work here in the second.
Yeah, and Bogut has been able to get himself free because you're worried about his teammates. Bogut knows how to finish. Outstanding passes. Pacers have to be able to keep their man out of the paint. Down 20, 6:16 to go.
Golden State Warriors, they've led by as many as 22. They're trying for their 23rd consecutive win. They averaged almost 29 assists per game, Quinn.
And that's the real key. They've got 23 on 35 baskets, and because they moved the ball. They did a terrific job, and the defense has to move, but it's hard to move as fast as the pass. That's why the Pacers have to do it. That last bucket by Brandon Rush, who now has 5 passes, but on 35 buckets, they have 23 assists here, and there's 6 minutes to go here in the third quarter, partner.
For more on the Farm Bureau Insurance sideline, here's Jeremiah Johnson.
Speaking of that unselfishness, I talked with Brandon Rush this morning. He said it's been a joy to be around these guys. No big egos, everyone playing for each other, everyone cheering for each other. Definitely a good feeling to have a team like this. He is starting after playing just 33 games last season. This is his 7th start, an increase in minutes for the former Pacer.
And he is back. He was in Utah for a year after playing 2 years in Golden State. He was traded out to the San Francisco-Oakland area, played 3 years with Indiana, 2 years at Golden State, a year in Utah, and now back in his 2nd season with the Golden State Warriors. The perfect gift for everyone on your holiday gift list, the Hickory Pacers holiday plan. Get tickets to 5 games, including Hickory-themed games, the Cleveland Cavs game against LeBron James, and a Hickory t-shirt. Plans start at just $99. Get your Hickory Pacers holiday plan today. Call 317-917-2827 or visit pacers.com/Hickory. Klay Thompson, and that's another one from 3-point range.
Yeah, that's his 9th, and they were actually had a lob if they wanted on the other side with a pick set.
He was 3rd team All-NBA last year as PG back the other way, no good. And Bogut and the Warriors lead by 21. They have put on a show, and Thompson again, he's made 10.
I mean, and they were running that at full speed. They were running to get Thompson the shot. That's how good. You talked a lot about Steph Curry, but that's how good they are. They know what they're trying to get.
And C.J. Miles answers back. He has 15. Klay Thompson comes in shooting 42% from 3-point range. He's made 58 prior to tonight, and he's made 10 here. That's blocked by PG, and that's Pacers basketball.
Yeah, nice job, because PG got on him, and Klay thought he was going to get the first foul, and it really wasn't. I mean, he'll make a move. Now, watch, he thinks he's got PG up. He thinks that's a foul. The official doesn't call it. PG gets his hand on it and then knocks it off the knee of Klay Thompson.
Golden State has not been below 100 points this year. They're 4 points away with less than 5 to play in the 3rd quarter. Mahinmi to the basket, left hand. Those are the shots you have to finish.
Well, he tried to avoid getting hit. But you got to make the shot.
Monte Ellis called for the blocking foul. And it's on the pass. And with 4:44 to play in the 3rd quarter, it's a 22-point lead. And the game changed on a 22-0 run by Golden State. Pacers led 21-15 with about 7 minutes to play in the opening quarter. And a 22-0 run later was 37-21 Golden State. They've not looked back. Green. Tipped up and in, and there's Bogut again.
Bogut again, as you had Draymond Green go to the basket and Jan came to try to clean up. Bogut just picked it up after that.
It is the biggest lead of the game. Warriors. Out to Ellis. Shot clock at 10. Now Ellis pull up jump shot. He can't get it to go, and the guy he was traded for, Andrew Bogut, with the rebound. Bogut 14 points and 10 rebounds tonight.
Oh, he's feeling it. That's a heat check. That is a heat check. He turned around and into the defense to let that one go. And he now has 39.
So games of 40, 39, and 39 against Indiana the last 2 years. And with 3:42 to play, Golden State is 3 of 4 from 3-point range this quarter. They've made 14 on the night.
Partner, when you're feeling good, now watch what he turns back into the defense to knock that one down. That's a heat check. I mean, he could have turned over his right shoulder. Instead, he turned over his left shoulder. That's how comfortable he is. But I would be too if I'm 13 of 17 and made 10 3-point shots. But I got to see how hot I am.
His career high is 52. Here's Curry, 2 more.
Yeah, I think Frank's going to take a timeout there because that time the pass didn't get there and the defense didn't get back.
A 28-point lead for the Golden State Warriors as the Pacers take a 20-second timeout, and it's brought to you by Connecticut Home Water Systems. As the Golden State fans, their traveling contingent, see this every night, and we are seeing it front and center here at Bankers Life Field.
Yeah, and this is not unlike what I've seen the previous two games. I watched them both, and this is what they will do is make big runs. Luke Walton and his coaching staff are really just carrying over what Steve Kerr, the head coach of this team, wants, which is to be able to move when you get open shots. For those of you who don't remember Steve Kerr in college and with the San Antonio Spurs particularly, and even the Chicago Bulls, his ability to shoot the ball is what made him special. But you're talking about looking at a special person. Look at what you have here in a league of his own as Steph Curry is just unbelievable.
Second place is the right column. That's Steph Curry. And the question, Quinn, is he's on target to obliterate the NBA record of three-point field goals in a year. He only has 3 tonight. He comes in averaging 5. He's on pace for 432. He set the record last year with nearly 300.
Yeah, and I suspect he's so much more comfortable with what he does. He'll find a way. That's offensive foul. Paul's left arm got away from him. Now he's a little frustrated, but there's no question that he got his left arm away from him on the play, and they called him for that. And that's Nathan McMillan, the assistant head coach, the associate head coach, I should say, who's trying to encourage the guys to keep their head up, because that's what Golden State does. If you're not careful the way they score, and as often, it'll take your spirit.
Here's Thompson for another 3. This is short.
Yes, thank goodness.
And Steph Curry is looking at sitting out another fourth quarter here for the Golden State Warriors, the way this game is going. Miles for 3. C.J. Miles has made 3 tonight. The Pacers are a very respectable 8 of 17. The Golden State's 14 of 27 from behind the arc.
That'll do it every time, partner.
Here's Curry. Got it in the foul.
That's the ball handling ability. We were talking about, who he might get. That's the kind of stuff Nash used to do. Just get you in position. All you can do is foul as he makes the shot.
Steph Curry and the Golden State Warriors have won their first 22 games of the year. They're well on their way to their 23rd to start the season. They lead in a big way in Indianapolis. Only visit by the Golden State Warriors, and it's been a trick of a night for the Pacers. They have trailed by as many as 28. Right now, the Warriors lead 104-77. Fox Sports Indiana has eliminated online fees for tickets bought during the month of December for any home game. The 0 fees until 2016 promotion gives fans the opportunity to buy tickets with 0 fees for any remaining home game. Buy before 2016 at pacers.com/0fees. Steph Curry goes to the free throw line to try and complete a 3-point play. And it's been
Pacer fans there.
Yeah, some Pacer fans. Great to see all of the Pacer fans here tonight at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. They come from far and wide, not just central Indiana, but all over the Midwest.
All over the country. We go all over. We just came off the West Coast, and we find fans there with Hickory hats and shirts and Pacers shirts and hats and gear, merchandise. It's pretty cool, I think.
Oh, no question about it. Pacers will wear the Hickory-themed uniforms again 2 nights before Christmas against Sacramento on the 23rd.
They want to switch, and they were trying to get Curry to be on Paul, and they forced him back. But that's what the Pacers were looking for, because they picked screen with George Hill and Curry, looking for because the thing that the Warriors do a lot, they switch, and that's what the Pacers were hoping for on that.
Klay Thompson and the Warriors 2 years ago won 51 games. Last year they won 67, and Ezeli comes in and has 10.
Yeah, because Klay Thompson was the one you had to worry about, and you got to Ezeli too late.
Now, Quinn, the question is, Indiana struggled defensively in the first 3 games of the year, all losses. They may be headed to their 3rd straight loss, and again, it'll be on the defensive end.
Well, it will be, but this is the best team in all of basketball. This will give you. I think this is a very good indicator for the Pacers as to where they are defensively. They're just playing against a really good team, and if you're not solid and can't stay in front of your man and somebody has to help, that creates opening for good teams, and they take advantage of it. And that's what Golden State is doing.
Inside the final 90 seconds, a 30-point lead for the Warriors as Ezeli turns in the lane, left it short. Golden State scored 44 in the first quarter, 35 in the second. They had 79 at the half. They only have 28 points in the third quarter. I say only 28, but George Hill misses the three.
They got numbers here in the break.
That's Ezeli down in the post, and C.J. Miles fouls him.
Thank goodness he fouled him. If he doesn't, I mean, again, Klay Thompson is able to come around the corner, so all the attention is on him. And you see Jordan Hill, there's no way he can get back. You need weak side help to recognize that's what they're going to run, as Klay Thompson is going to take a seat with 39 here in the third quarter.
29 points at the half. He had 8 3-point shots in the first half. He's added 2 more here in the third quarter, 10 of them, as Curry to a wide open Ezeli.
Nothing on the weak side. I know, and I look at Frank, and that's what he's saying. The weak side's got to come and help. No help. This is really giving the Pacers an opportunity to figure out where they are defensively.
And now George Hill just missed a 3 and hits that one. 3 of them tonight for George Hill. The Pacers have made 9. They average 9.5 per game. And now Curry missed it. George tips it to Solomon Hill. And now Paul George in transition for 3.
He can make those, but you can't get. The tough part is you get in a shootout with this team. They've got better three-point weapons.
Warriors have made 14 tonight.
When the Pacers are not bad in terms of knocking down three-point shots. You're just playing the best in the league.
This is the 15th time that Golden State's made 12 or more from three-point range. Shot clock at 6. Curry.
Oh, he knows it. He knows exactly what it is. And what he knew is he had Jordan Hill, who is somebody that was going to have a hard time being able to guard him.
And so the Golden State Warriors keep rolling along. The 5th of 7 straight on the road. A 14-day road trip, and it has not slowed them down. Warriors 111, Pacers 83 on Fox Sports Indiana.
11-83, the Splash Brothers combining for 62 points. Klay Thompson and Steph Curry, a 28-point lead for Golden State, 22-0, 1 quarter away from 23-0. Jeremiah Johnson alongside Stephanie White. Stephanie, on Pacers Live postgame, we will break down sort of where this game went awry for the Pacers. But right now, if you're a coach, what do you do? What do you tell your guys? 12 minutes to play when a game is pretty much out of reach?
Well, I think you just implore them to continue to fight, to continue to compete. There's a certain mentality that you have to be able to play night in and night out at a high level, and it doesn't ebb and flow with things that happen in the game. So I think you really challenge them to continue to play.
The Andy Moore Automotive Pacers Live postgame comes up immediately following Pacers and Warriors.
All right, thanks.
And I like what you heard by Stephanie, because she's right. Because what Golden State has done, and this is the reason they've had such success, they don't really care who they play. They play it the same way at the same tempo as a rule. So but that's a mindset, but that's something you have to build. It's like a muscle. You've heard me talk about this all the time. It's like habits, not like habit, it is. So that's what the Pacers have to do. Continue to play hard, execute what it is you want to do, and you can have successes and get Golden State some other time. In the meantime, you've got to figure out a way to get better.
Golden State is shooting a season-high 61%. They have shot 60% in each of the first 3 quarters. Pass into Jordan Hill, and a foul on Ezeli. Chase Budinger just hit a 3 for the Pacers. And 2 free throws now for Indiana and Jordan Hill. Jordan Hill knows a lot about this Golden State team. He played in the Western Conference the last 4 years with the Lakers. In his 7th year out of Arizona, 9 points, 8 rebounds on the year in his first season with the blue and gold. Every month, the Shelbourne Knee Center and Fox Sports Indiana honors a high school athlete of the month. You can nominate a student athlete at fixedknee.com. The athlete, their family will receive a plaque, be recognized at an upcoming Pacers home game. Couple of free throws for George Hill. Curry sits to start the 4th. He has 23, as JJ mentioned. Klay Thompson with a season-high 39 in his last 3 now, again against Indiana. 40, 39, and 39.
You can see this unit on the floor will struggle quite a bit. They don't have nearly the facilitator like they normally get. Oh, boy. Brandon Rush tips that back over his head, so they don't have somebody to facilitate like Draymond Green. They don't have shooters. if you will. They got guys that can score, but they don't have shooters like they had on the first unit.
When as good as the starters were in the opening half, I thought they got great contributions from Ezeli and company. As Buttinger off the bench gets 2 more.
No question, he and
They
Bowman
helped extend the lead.
Well, they got it from people you don't expect. But you said at the top of the show, this just isn't Steph Curry. They've got a number of people that are really good. Clark is a three-point shooter. I mean, you can go down, and they've got guys that are effective in a lot of different ways on this team.
Steph Curry and the Warriors took this game over midway through the first quarter. Pacers had a 6-point lead at 21-15. 22-0 run by Golden State. They led by 16, and it has been double figures since. Closest that Indiana was able to get was in the first half at 62-51, and then Golden State exploded 17-9 to close out the first half. They led by 19 with a season-high 79 first-half points.
That's a little better pace of moving the ball. It's a little better pace. It's so much easier to get in the rhythm when the ball moves and you can figure out the rhythm of the pass or the dribble. And I don't think that happened much at all. That didn't happen in the first half very often. Because when you dribble it, people don't know what your next move is going to be. You're ready to pass it, they all maybe react to it.
Rush steps back behind the arc, and that's long, and it's tipped out to Rush.
Yeah, all because Ezeli was in position to make a play.
Golden State has out-rebounded the Pacers 38-27. Good defense by Monte Ellis. And now Buttinger in the corner for 3. And he's fouled. He'll shoot 3.
All right, that's only 3 here, right?
Is that 3 or 4? Is that 3?
That's 3. I think that's 3.
If you're just tuning in, Quinn and I were a part of a game Saturday night in Salt Lake City where there were 7 of these called.
Guys shooting three-pointers get fouled on that. No question about Rush getting there late and hitting the hip of Chase Buttinger.
Well, in the NBA this year, teams in a game are combining to shoot over 47 threes per game. That would be an NBA all-time record. These two teams come in. The Pacers average 24 per game. Golden State attempts 31. That's 55. And we have a timeout tonight. They have combined to shoot 54 three-point shots. We head to a break. 113-94 Warriors. To Jerry West and Wilt Chamberlain, the Los Angeles Lakers won 33 consecutive games. Just a few years ago, LeBron James, Dwayne Wade, 27 consecutive games. Both those records and both those streaks in the same season. Golden State, dating back to last year in the regular season, has won 26 straight. Klay Thompson, Steph Curry won an NBA title last year. They won their last 4 of the regular season, their first 22 of this season. Celebrating Hanukkah here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse as the Golden State Warriors on a
Menorah on there.
7-game road trip, 14 days.
Sorry, partner. While you doing this, I'm looking at this man just grooving.
He was grooving as Buttinger hits all 3 free throws. 14 days, 2 weeks away from home, Quinn. They are now 5 games through, and they're on their way unless Indiana can make a huge recovery here to another win.
Well, I tell you what, the Pacers have really, I don't know if the floor is slippery or what, they slipped quite a bit.
Ian Clark. And Ezeli couldn't get it, but fouled at the rim, and that's another offensive rebound. And the foul is on Solomon Hill.
Well, I think it's one of the challenges and one of the things the Pacers have got to figure out. One is keeping people in front of you. 2, well, I think Jordan Hill has been a really good addition. The Pacers have got to figure out how to rebound after defending. Because now you got Ezeli, though not a great foul shooter, going to the foul line. But if you put a body on him and keep him off the glass, then you got a chance to get the rebound.
Pacers are on a 12-2 run, but the Warriors led by as many as 32. C.J. Miles is up off the bench to check in for Indiana. 18 points for Miles. He's hit 3 of 7 from three-point range. The Pacers are 11 of 24 behind the arc. The Warriors have made 14. They made 11 in the first half. Rodney Stuckey.
Looking at Stuckey a little bit to see if he's okay.
Talking with assistant athletic trainer Carl Eaton with Quinn Buckner and Jeremiah Johnson. I'm Chris Denari. We heard from Stephanie White. Her thoughts before the fourth quarter started as Ellis cranks up, misses a three, and Ezeli has the rebound. Our entire crew on this Tuesday night as the Pacers and the Warriors for the first of two meetings. They'll play January 22nd at Oracle Arena in Oakland. Livingston had 6 first-half points. And again, they get so many contributions.
Yeah, and everybody is happy with their role. If they don't have to score big numbers to be able to play on this team, everybody gets a shot to do what they do. And they made it, and winning last year, because they know when you win, everybody gets what they do. That's what the Pacers, and I don't think you see a lot of selfishness there, but that's what they've got to understand. Everybody will get what they deserve if the team wins.
Shot clock down to 7. This may be one of the deepest possessions.
One of the few times they've had it there. And then Brandon Rush drills a 3.
Brandon Rush again started his career in Indiana. He averaged nearly 10 points per game in one of his final years. And here is Miles with another 3, and that's his 4th. He has 21. Extra pass, Rush open again.
Ball moving again. I mean, if you don't stop it on their initial thrust, they turn the corner. Automatically, someone's in that corner, and the Pacers haven't been able to get out there. And from there, one more pass, and you've got a wide-open jump shot by a three-point shooter.
16 threes tonight for the Golden State Warriors. Ellis had it knocked away. Shot clock at 4. He gets inside and gets 2 more. Monte Ellis has 7. Pacers led by the 27 of Paul George. Klay Thompson has 39. Stephen Curry has 23 to lead Golden State. It's been a big game and a start. His 7th for Brandon Rush. And that's a walking violation with 6.5 to play. Let's hit the Farm Bureau Insurance sideline. We have an update on Rodney Stuckey from Jeremiah Johnson.
Scary to see Rodney Stuckey limp towards the bench with his injury history, but the good news is he just banged knees. He's on the bench, did not go back to the locker room, and there does not appear to be a great deal of concern for Stuckey's long-term health after that incident.
Well, you don't want that because he played the best, I think, of anybody consistently. I mean, Paul was very good on that West Coast trip, but Stuckey was right there. He was solid. Now, he hadn't been able to do what he did tonight as he was on the West Coast. But he's been the most consistent performer in the last 5 games.
Rodney Stuckey, 5 first-half points. Quinn mentioned really good out west. 17 points, all 4 games in double figures, including matching his season high of 23 against Utah on Saturday night. And Miles again. So that's 5 of them for C.J. Miles. It's the 4th time this year he's made 5 or more threes. Pacers trying to make it interesting. They've cut it to 16.
But the energy's still there on the defensive end.
No good. Rebound tip. And Rush got it. Blocked by Hill.
Yeah, that went off of Rush, too. I mean, that's just a little bit more fight.
And so the Pacers will have the basketball. They have cut it to 16. And we'll see if Luke Walton, if it's Klay Thompson and Steph Curry time. Miles has 24. Solomon Hill the defense. 121-105 Warriors. With 44 first quarter points. That was the most given up by Indiana this year. Within that quarter, the Pacers had an early 7-point lead, but Golden State scored 22 in a row to lead by double figures. Indiana's outscored the Warriors 22-10 here in the 4th. Golden State's led by as many as 32. It's a 16-point lead for a team that sports a 22-0 record. Great to see Rodney Stuckey's crew here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. You have the G2 zone and now Stuckey's crew and a crowd of 18,165, standing room only, hoping that the Pacers, I don't want to call it a miracle because it's only a 16-point game.
Look who's on the floor.
Yeah.
It's a little bit, Walton didn't want to take any more chances. So he's brought Draymond Green, he brought back Steph Curry, and he brought Klay Thompson. So he put more offense on the floor with their defense.
Paul George is also back out there, a 27-point game, and his 3-point shot is good. He has 30, 6 of his last 7. And the Pacers have cut it to 13.
Yeah, when you get a little bit of life with it, too.
5.5 to play. Bankers Life Fieldhouse. They've cut 19 off of that 32-point Golden State lead. Green has it hang and fall in.
After the delivery that time, at the end of the shot clock from Steph Curry with all the attention. And that's kind of what Green does on the offensive end. He plays off of the other really good shooters.
Oh, nice rebound by Jordan Hill right in front of the rim.
Usually the case. Ball goes short, doesn't quite get to the rim, maybe a little bit. Pacers or offense will get it.
But you have to have stops.
Yeah, you got to watch this play here because they'll run a screen and roll and then go set a screen right away. They'll set it for Klay Thompson.
Left hand rolls out. Ellis the rebound.
Yeah, that's what they were doing. Yeah, he never saw it.
And now stolen by Ellis. He gets it back. Paul George, 4-3. And it's rebounded by Curry.
And we got to get to Curry here because he likes tough shots.
Pacers
in these circumstances.
Yeah, they needed that one to go down, and here's Thompson. Short.
Right there.
Miles has it knocked away by Thompson. Budinger was cutting to the basket.
You know, really good look here. There's a screen on the left or to the right on the screen, and Paul George is able to step in after sitting for a while and knocking down that three-point shot.
5 of 11 from three-point range. Again, 6 of the last 7 games for PG. He's had 30 or more points. Indiana, a chance to make it a 10-point game if they hit another 3.
Tackle.
Here's Ellis.
Yeah, just tackle. I mean, you've got to put a player that scores as much as Curry does. You've got to attack him and put him somewhat in fear. Fans
they
up
make
and
some
into
noise.
it.
Really the first time we've heard from him as Curry and company have quieted the crowd as Curry hits a big shot. He has 25.
And that's what he does. He makes big shots.
Miles, rebounded by Solomon Hill. Tipped up and no good.
Boy.
Miles.
Pacers had 3 opportunities there at the rim and couldn't get it to go.
And now Paul George spins on Livingston. And PG tips it in.
Nice job staying active with PG. May have got bumped a little bit, but you play through that.
Lead is 11. 125-114. Just over 3 to play. Curry for 3. It's off the mark, but there's Draymond Green.
I mean, that's because the Pacers have had a hard time keeping a body on this group all night because they really don't have a center. This is a very small unit that's on the floor defensively for Golden State. When you look at it, Iguodala is on the floor. The center is Draymond Green.
This is how they like to close games as Green missed it. Rebound tipped out to Budinger.
Attack. Paul, you got to attack. Yeah, you got to attack.
Comes up with a loose ball and a timeout.
Well, Frank called it because at that point you got Paul who was struggling, so you want to make sure you get a really good shot.
Indiana climbing back in. They have lost every quarter, the first 3 here at Bankers Life Fieldhouse, but Paul George and company not going away. PG has 32, as close as we've been in a while. It's a 13-point Warriors lead. 32 here in the second half. They've outscored Golden State 31-16 in the fourth quarter. They have climbed within 13 at 127-114. Quinn, the Pacers have hit 11 of 19 from the field in the quarter.
Well, they've been able to be a lot more active getting to the rim. You've got some guys coming in. I thought CJ started to find the range a little bit. Had it a little bit in the first half, but definitely in the second. And Paul does a terrific job off the bench, knocking down that 3, giving the Pacers, not only the players, but the entire building some energy. You can look at Chase Budinger leading with 8 here in this quarter.
Again, the Pacers have played with Solomon Hill tonight coming off the bench. Just the 8th time we've seen Hill this year. He started 78 games a year ago, but with the acquisition of Chase Budinger and the rise of Glenn Robinson III, the wing position pretty loaded, but again, Solomon Hill getting an opportunity tonight against this smaller Golden State team that likes to close the games. Here's Paul George out of a double team. Monte Ellis to a wide open Hill.
Very good look by Monte off the double team to be able to find Solomon down there. But Paul George is the one drawing the attention. Now this is the end. You have to be effective.
Just over 2 minutes to play. Skip pass for his 11th three. Miles the rebound. 2 minutes to play. Pacers trail by 11. Ellis takes it all the way in and could not get it.
Right at the rim, attacked it, and I mean, he laid it over the rim, and it just came out.
The former Golden State Warrior, drafted in the second round in 2005. Curry missed it. Buttinger the rebound. He'll bring it all the way down the floor.
Attack it. He'll attack. Yeah, that's the thing about that you like about Solomon Hill. He'll stay up and attack. Pacers really making a way here.
90 seconds to play. First time it's been single digits since the first half and the first quarter.
Oh boy, he ball faked inside.
Off the rim, no good. Rebound tipped out.
I think it stays Golden State's ball. I agree. You got to take a look at it. Yeah, Solomon is saying take a look at it.
And inside the final 2 minutes, the officials can review. Jason Phillips, Mark Ayotte, and J.T. Orr. And the officials at the replay center in Secaucus, New Jersey will take a look. He did not get credit. He's the interim head coach. Luke Walton was the Western Conference Coach of the Month, but the wins are credited to Steve Kerr. As Golden State is trying to win its 23rd straight.
Steve has to feel pretty good about that. Not much work done. But they say Steve spends a lot of time. We'll get a chance to take a look to see who hits this ball.
I think it's Miles.
That's why I say it's out on the Pacers. I thought it was C.J. Miles. Because he tries to hit it back up. He mistimed it.
And again, that's one of the calls that could be made with the three officials in New Jersey that sit in the replay center. They can rule whether a three-point shot is good. They can rule out-of-bounds plays, and clearly this is an out-of-bounds play that the replay shows it's off C.J. Miles. .118 to play. Klay Thompson had 29 first-half points. That's a season high. C.J. Miles has scored 24 to help Indiana. The leader is Paul George. He has 32. But right now, the Pacers on the wrong end of a 127-118 score.
Paul George on Curry.
Nearly stolen. Solomon Hill. Here's PG.
Give it back to him. Yeah, that's right. Just give it back to him and let him play here.
Don't want to take too much time off the clock.
Well, get out of the way. No need to set the screen. He might as well go to work.
He wants a three. Paul George, a three. It's off the mark. No good. Hill got the rebound.
One of the reasons he's in the game.
And he was fouled. Ellis hit the three, but that's after the foul.
Well, Solomon Hill, how hard he's been playing. I mean, he's earned minutes from you were talking about earlier about Glenn Robinson Jr. You see Paul George pull up, and you can see Hill just work his way to that rebound. Pacers get it out on the side.
58 6/10 to play. Pacers had a 6-point lead late Saturday night in Utah, but lost in overtime. They're trying to pull one out of the hat here tonight at Bankers Life Fieldhouse. They get it to Buttinger, who drives. Got his own rebound. Buttinger counted in a foul.
That's been a foul, without a doubt. Boy, Klay Thompson is limping, so they're probably going to have to get him out of the game. That's one guy that you don't have to worry about. But staying active, staying around the glass, the Pacers could end up here down 6. You see Buttinger take it to the rim. No shot blockers on the floor. Remember, I talked about that small lineup you see hopping off top of the screen. It's going to be Klay Thompson. He's hopping out of it before Chase Buttinger gets it back, and Chase knocks it down.
Looked like he sprained his right ankle. Klay Thompson, 39 points. Buttinger, a chance to make it, and he tips it out, no good. And the Pacers get it back, down 7. Here's Miles for 3.
Boy, and almost a rebound there by Solomon Hill, who made a great effort.
Pacers had a chance to cut it to 4 if Miles could have gotten that three-point shot, and that's Klay Thompson on the Golden State bench.
Well, the thing that Golden State had in their favor last year, and you've got to have some luck, and this is what Doc Rivers was talking about. Luke Walton's team, well, Steve Kerr's team, had no major injuries. And you have to avoid that if you're going to have some success.
45 seconds to play. The Pacers will play defense as Curry goes inside and gets 2 big points.
Lays it up there softly. Somehow. Paul George trying to run. They close out early.
Hill's going to drive inside. Solomon Hill, and it's short, puts it back in. And now you got a foul.
CJ hit him pretty good, but I tell you what, this is the thing about Curry. He's pretty resilient. I mean, Curry is able to make plays. It's just his ball handling ability. Paul is trying to get to him. Watch, he's able to keep himself in position and use that touch with the left hand. Tried to show everybody it was with the left hand.
Not just 27 points tonight for Steph Curry, but he also has 10 assists. It's his third double-double of the year, and now a technical foul in front of us on Draymond Green, who you can see blood on his mouth. And you can see
He's saying all he did is ask a question, but he's bleeding. He got hit in the mouth. But he's claiming it was right in front of us, and it seemed to be a civil conversation. I didn't see any special words come out of it.
And Paul George hits the technical free throw. 33 for George. He has 8 rebounds and 6 assists. But if Golden State is able to hold on again, you're just amazed night in, night out what this Golden State Warriors team can do.
Chris, as you have been in basketball a long time, but sometimes you have to appreciate things that are happening in front of you. And this is special. There's just no doubt about it. The Pacers have a chance to win it. But what Golden State is attempting to do is very, very special. And how they've been able to sustain their concentration.
He was 1 of 4 at the free throw line at Brooklyn on Sunday. Missed 5 free throws the last 2 games. He's only missed 13 free throws on the year.
You think that's a sign he's tired?
He gets 1 of 2, and the Pacers use a timeout, trailing by 7, 130 to 123. It's a 20-second timeout taken by the Pacers, and it's brought to you by Connecticut Home Water Systems. Indiana started the year with 3 straight losses, giving up 105 points per game. They won 12 of their next 14, and their defense giving up just 93. In 2 straight losses out west, they gave up 123 to Portland, 122 to Utah, and now the Warriors have scored 130. The Pacers have put 40 on the board here in the fourth, but it may not be enough with 24 and 8/10 to play. Pacers trailed by as many as 32, and they trail by 7 now with 24 and 8/10 to play. Don't forget, our AndyMoore.com Pacers Live postgame show is next. Jeremiah Johnson and Stephanie White will be in the Fox Loft. Pat Boylan in the Pacers locker room will recap this game and then look ahead to Friday night when the Pacers play the Miami Heat here. And again, remember, Miami won 27 straight back in 2012, 2013. A Golden State win tonight will match that record, 27 straight, and Golden State eyeing the 33 straight of the Lakers. They did that more than 40 years ago. They have a 7-point lead, 24 and 8/10 to play. Ellis drives on Curry.
They miscommunicated. They had a good look, but they got to foul him. Yeah, they got to foul him. Miscommunication. Because when Monte went in the air, he thought that Paul was going to stay in the corner, and Paul decided to cut to the rim. But again, that's a little bit of the difference between Golden State and the Pacers. New people on the floor, not the same circumstances anybody's used to, playing against a very good Golden State team.
And so with 17 seconds to play, the Warriors on their way to a 23-0 start. And Curry's missed another free throw, so that's 5 now in the last 2 games for Steph Curry. A 91% free throw shooter. A career 90% free throw shooter. And the Warriors will look ahead to Boston on Friday night. Brad Stevens' team is coming back from a long road trip, including a game down in Mexico against Sacramento. And another timeout used by Vogel and the Pacers. 29 now for Curry. Klay Thompson had 39. He has not scored here in the fourth quarter. And with 17 seconds to play, it's an 8-point Golden State lead. I guess you would say the good news for Golden State, they've got a couple of days off before they play again.
And you can see, even on those foul shots, you can see that that Curry is tired. And this was a real opportunity for the Pacers to try to figure out a way to try to get a win. But you're playing against an experienced team together, a world championship team. I can't tell you how much confidence you have coming back as a world champion. because you know that any adverse situation, even the Pacers making this run back, this team has seen before. This Golden State team has seen before.
This will be the 10th time this year that Golden State shot better than 50% from the field, and they're led by the Splash Brothers. They have combined, Quinn, to go 24 of 44 from the field, 13 of 27 from three. Thompson and Curry have combined for 68.
And it opens up on the inside because of their unique ability to shoot on the outside. Both quick trigger releases, and then that you struggle, and then they start getting themselves to the rim, putting you in a very difficult position.
The future Cybertron, harder, faster, better.
26 makes, but 13 three-point shots, just under 500 or 50%. That's some unbelievable shooting. Don't you think?
Yeah, Quinn, we know in the NBA game is never over, but clearly Golden State, they like their chances on that 22-0 run back in the first quarter.
Yeah, that's what they do. They get runs on you, and they're able to get more offensive runs than not. And part of that reason, though, Chris, and I think you alluded to it, not I think, is because they're better defensively than you give them credit for. They've got very active hands and really, really knowledgeable basketball players.
Paul George has had another big night. He's going to try to shoot a three inside Livingston, and that's it. And that will be it. The Golden State Warriors continue to improve on history. 23 straight wins to open the season for the Golden State Warriors. Now 27 in a row. They have matched the Miami Heat, and they are now chasing the Los Angeles Lakers, as Luke Walton and company call a 22nd timeout. So tied for the second most in NBA history, and 33 is still in sight. So for our final 22nd timeout, sponsored by Connecticut Home Water Systems, a 22nd timeout. So for the Pacers, 3 straight losses for the second time this year. They've got the Miami Heat in here on Friday. So what do you take from the game, Quinn?
What you take is you played against a really good team that has perimeter shooters and move the basketball. You're going to small ball, and a lot of people have gone to small ball because of Steph Curry and his Golden State Warrior teammates. But if you're going to replicate it, you got to replicate it in a greater sense. Their ability to move the ball, move the defense, and have shooters. Pacers have shooters that have to do a better job of moving the ball and playing over time. Those are the kind of things you learn.
29 assists tonight for Golden State, right at their average. They are first in the league in assists, first in offense, first in field goal shooting, first in three-point shooting, and they will dribble the clock out for an 8-point win, 131 to 123, as the Warriors now 23-0. Former teammates Steph Curry, Monte Ellis, and these teams will see each other again January 22nd at Golden State. And who knows what the record will be for the Golden State Warriors. The final score, 23 straight wins for Golden State. They beat the Pacers 131-123. Our AndyMoore.com Pacers Live postgame show is next. Friday night, the Heat in town. Coverage begins at 6:30 with the Indiana Members Credit Union Pacers Live pregame show. For Jeremiah Johnson, Stephanie White, Quinn Buckner, our outstanding crew, I'm Chris Denari. The AndyMoore.com Pacers Live postgame show is next.